Peace. What's good, fam? We in the house. STD Mescu Independente. Delano L was good. Sam Woods, that's a good one. He said Chuck Norris once beat down Bruce Lee's vegetarian brother, Rocco Lee. That's good. Why not? That was pretty funny. No one's ever busted in the comments with a joke like that. Okay. We fucking with you, Sam Woods. All right, come on, everybody get in here. We got a momentous announcement for this 50th anniversary of hip hop. Okay? I'm excited. Let's do it like hey. What's good, y'all? Welcome back. I know it's a Tuesday. You're probably not used to me coming in on a Tuesday. You're probably, this time is about right, but Tuesday is a little premature. But that's okay. I wanted to get my brother on. This was the day he can do it, so we're doing it today. What's good, everybody? Make sure you click that like button upon entering the room. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Click that notification bell and click all. Yeah, so we got something big going on that we want to share with the peoples. Peace, Chinese food. What's good? Oh, shit. Yes, hang on. Just got to do some settings, set some settings here that they're asking for. I had to redo some shit on my computer. Okay, well, we don't need you to record anything right now. Just to share. There we go. So, oh, come on. Are you serious? They're not letting me. They're not letting me screen share right now. Fuck. I had to reset my shit. Peace, everybody. Maybe the brother can do it when he gets on. Or we could just go low tech. We could just go low tech. It's better than no tech. That's what I always say. And we could just go like this. Kaboom! Y'all see that? HAPI 2024 tour to Egypt. What? Tour to Egypt with special guest DJ Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar will live long. Ho! Yes, my brothers and sisters from the HAPI film, friends to the show, are doing a tour to Egypt. And this time around, the God will be in attendance. Oh! The God will be in attendance on a tour and not just on some zigga shit. I will be there with you, experiencing all the sights, all the sounds, all the smells, all the culture that one experiences when we go to Kemit / Egypt. Let's clap it up again. Yes, the hat is A1. The hat is in honor of what we're talking about today. We're going to see them Black Pharaohs. But listen, with no further ado, I want to bring my brother on who is the real organizer of this all, who put this whole thing together, of course, with this organization. But, you know, this is my guy. Friend to the show. He's been here before. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Godcast. My brother, Taaqiy Grant.
Peace to the God.
Peace.
What's good, man?
What's good?
Now I heard you with the technical difficulties. Let me see if I can get it up on the screen for you.
Okay, yeah. See, I had to some shit happened. Basically, I had to reset my whole computer, right? And when I did that, when you first go into certain things like Chrome and all of that type of, you know, it's almost like the first time you did it. So now I'm not realizing that. So now when I go to screen share some shit, it's asking me to go into system preferences and it wants me to reset Google Chrome. Can't do that right now. We on the live. You know what I mean?
Like, right.
We gotta do that next time around. A1 Drizzy, what's good? Large Pro, what's good? Now I got that link in the description, y'all. That's right. It's a culture, not a religion. I guess he's talking about Nation of Gods and Earths. I would assume so. He said, camera is looking better than I've ever seen, LJ. Nice. You know what that is? I ain't even gonna hold you, man. Lighting. Lighting is the key to everything, yo. I'm really discovering that. You know what I mean? I have a nice light with a softbox, you know, and a motherfucking a grid shit inside the softbox, you know what I mean? So to really direct the light and give a controllable light. I have a app where I can now bring the light up or down and bring it to the correct Kelvin, or I could change the color, and you know what I mean? That's what helps to really make your camera. You can have a bullshit camera, but if your lighting is right, you're gonna be right. So thank you. I appreciate that. And I just
gotta have the good light.
Yeah, you got it. You look like you got good light. You look like you got a key light going on the left side of your face.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got a little ring joint on the left side, you know,
right.
Give a little more enhanced lighting.
Right, because you're using it as a key, though. See, a lot of people use those ring lights and they put it straight directly on their face. You know what I mean? Like they'll put it right in front of them, and that's not all necessarily the best thing to do. If it is going to be in front of you, maybe it should be a little bit higher and tilted down.
Right.
You have it off to the side. It gives the more dramatic lighting.
Yeah, that's definitely how you got to have it.
Better roll off on the face and all of that. Flat power, A1 Drizzy. Flat power, my brother. That's right. Thanks for that. 5% is not a religion. It's an FBA culture. True indeed. Hey, Latoya. Okay, everybody's filing in now. Okay. They're like, hang on, Tuesday. I'm not used to this. Lord is live right now. Yes, he is. Okay, so it's coming up a little small on your thing. I don't know.
All right, let's. What we'll do, we'll stop and we'll bring it back in a different way.
He said, "Can we explain key lighting?" I don't know if I really want to get into it, but key lighting, there's key lighting and fill lighting. Key lighting would be your main light, and then your fill light would be a light that accents that light. So I actually do have a fill light over here on my right side that's not as intense as the one on my left side, and you can find a certain balance with that as you go up or down on either one, depending on what kind of mood you're trying to give. But that's a basic, there's also hair lighting, but I don't have that going on. There's practicals in the background. Any lighting you see in the background of a scene is called practicals. Listen, we can get into all of this shit later. We want to talk about Kemit, goddammit. Because on the motherfucking boat. Let's talk about it.
AJ, you got it? You see it down in the bottom? Could you bring it?
It looks better. Yes, that looks bigger.
All right.
So, Kemit, HAPI Tours. Oh, wait, no, AKET Tours presents HAPI 2024 Tour to Egypt. Discover the origins of economics in Egypt with HAPI from February 17th to the 24th of 2024. And our special guest DJ from the legendary group Brand Nubian, Lord Jamar will live long on the ones and twos, playing the best of 80s, 90s, early 2000s hip hop, R&B, and reggae. You try to go outside of that genre, you're gonna be mad. Okay? Can I hear some Migos? No, you can't hear the Migos. Can I hear some house music? No, I don't have house music. Okay, I told you what I have. Okay, hip hop, R&B, reggae. Okay, if you fucks with that, come fucks with me. So now that's a nice little time, but from what I understand, that's group 2, correct? There's actually a group 1 that leaves a day earlier and comes back a day later and has a little bit more extensive doings and happenings.
Right,
but why don't you fill everybody in on what's gonna be going on? I actually got some questions for you, but let's just get the base.
Yeah, before we get into that, I want to get into the foundation of it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the most important part. The foundation is we've been doing the journeys, the pilgrimages to the Nile, to the HAPI, Kemit, Egypt for about 30 years now. In that process, we developed the filmmaking skills, which brought us the introduction together. You know what I'm saying? When we did the HAPI film a couple years ago. HAPI is actually the original name for the Nile River. But when we start talking about HAPI versus calling it the Nile, we get into the whole economic piece because we talk about the Nile annual flood and what that meant for the people of ancient Egypt and how they was able to build their civilization on the resources that was garnered from the flood, and from that river plain that they had there. So when we start talking about that and we're talking about the connection, you and I, and what we did back in February, and first we're back to the film because, we had the opportunity to have you featured in the HAPI film documentary, talking about, just the connection between what we're doing now and the whole hip hop thing and how that plays a role into our history and our civilization. If you add that with the fact that, we had the event early this year, the Happy Day of Black Excellence here in New York, you put those things together, we start building the foundation for what we're working towards now. So when we look at the HAPI economic tour, it's more than just going to Egypt on and on over the monuments. That's the beautiful thing. We've been doing that for a long time. we talk about in our culture 3 things: economics, politics, and culture. And how do we obtain these 3 things? The culture for us is like what I call low-hanging fruit. For most people, culture is like it's right there. You know what I'm saying? They can read a book, they can pick up lessons. You know what I'm saying? They can wear unks, dashikis, or whatever like that. That cultural shit is just like right there. But for other things, that those other aspects of it, the economics and the politics, a little further away. But the economics is something we've always practiced. We've always practiced economics. We were the ones that laid economic foundations down, and that's what we did in ancient Egypt. So this trip here, this journey here, and I hate to call it a trip because African people don't make trips to Egypt. You know, we make pilgrims. We go to the motherland. We don't take trips. It's different for us. You know what I'm saying? So how we say, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, so it's just different for us. So when we make these journeys and these pilgrimages, we're not only looking at our history, you know what I'm saying, but we're also looking at our future as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to be able to take what our ancestors laid down in terms of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and take that and propel us forward into the future. So not only will we be looking at the foundations of economics from the sense of the resources it took to build the pyramids, but also we're going to have networking events as well as economic workshops that's going to take place on this cruise. And the significant thing about this is that it's not just a regular cruise, it's a charter. So that means we're allowed to customize it and cultivate and curate this any way we want. So that's how we was like, yo, we need a dope DJ. We need somebody that's going to really, really help us execute this vision. Somebody that's conscious, somebody that's a part of the community, somebody that's been doing this for a long time. So you were the man to definitely be a part of this.
And when we say I'm DJing, that doesn't mean I'm just DJing at one party. No,
nah.
DJing at like 3 events, correct?
3 events. Yes. We got 2 events on the ship, and we also have a gala at the end. The entire excursion culminates with the dinner gala. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a fantastic, and it's almost what I like to call the best of both worlds, because it's not only we're learning about our history, we're also enjoying ourselves at the same time. You know what I mean? So that's the important part, that balance that's there.
Now, let me just speak, keeping on economics real quick. First of all, let me thank my brother Terrell McMiller for the economic donation. Always appreciate you, my brother. He said, "What's good, LJ? Welcome back." I'm great, my brother. You know what I mean? We doing what we doing out here. Yeah, you see what we doing. I appreciate you. Thank you, my brother. Then we also had an economic question that Black people are about economics. They want to get straight to the nitty gritty. How much is the event? Like, what's the ticket price? Okay. Let's just get that out the way, because I think people are interested, but they want to know how much is something like this and what's included.
Right. That's
where the value really shines.
Right. So as the brother was saying a minute ago, the date you see on the screen here, February 17th to the 24th, is actually what we call Group 2. There's actually a group that leads before that, and the dates are the 16th to the 25th. Now, just starting here, because it's on the screen, Group 2, for double occupancy, it's $43.99, and that's all inclusive. I'm sorry, actually $42.99, excuse me. It's all inclusive.
Per person. $42.99 per person.
In a double. It's a little
different
room. Double room. If you're sharing a room. And the single is a little bit more expensive. It's $53.99 for a single. That means you want the room by yourself. Ain't nobody with you, friend, family, stranger, whatever like that. You just chilling by yourself. It's $53.99. Now, both packages are all inclusive. All your flights, your food, all the excursions, the ship, the hotels, everything is complete.
Even your transportation to and from Kennedy Airport. Correct?
Flight from Kennedy to Cairo. You got to get yourself. You got to get yourself to JFK.
Right. Okay. I thought it said something about transport. Oh, maybe that was
in Egypt. Yeah. But once you're there, you're good. But you got to get yourself to New York.
Got you.
JFK. You live in New York. Ain't no thing for you. But
right
from JFK to Cairo and back. We've been doing it, like I said, for about 30 years, since 1999.
It's a direct flight from JFK to Cairo.
Direct flight. It's about 10 hours.
And hold up. And a big reason why I'm going, you don't have to take no vaccine to go there.
That's a big one. No inoculations, no vaccines, nothing like that.
No malaria pills.
None of that malaria pill, none of that. So now going back to Group 1. Now, if you go to the website, iCareTours.com, the only thing you're going to see here is group 2 information. We didn't want to have both groups up there to confuse people, but there are still spaces available if people are interested in coming on a longer trip. And that's from the 16th to the 25th. We probably should throw that in the chat somewhere. But those dates are February 16th to the 25th. And the double price for that is $5,100, and the single is $63. Same thing, all inclusive. The difference is here, it's more of a complete, comprehensive, experience, in the sense of you're going to see multiple pyramid sites. You get to do
where are all the, I need to know, the people need to know exactly what they'll be seeing, where they'll be going.
Facts.
Exactly.
So for people that's coming in group 1, and I'm just going to break down the full program for you. You'll be doing the evolution of pyramids from the beginning, the step pyramid, the bent pyramid, the red brick pyramid, which is the first right angle pyramid, Giza. You get a chance to see that. You get to see you have a chance to see the evolution from its earliest stages of what they call mastabas. And we'll be talking about the foundations of Kemetic civilization, even predating that, the tumuli in Nubia, the Kustu Insenburn, all these things, how they're interconnected to the first foundation of civilization, the first stone structures, first monuments built in stone, the origins of masonry, architecture, all that exists there, particularly in Saqqara. Once we leave Saqqara, then we go to a place called Dashur, where you see the bent pyramid. You can see that they were trying to create this right angle pyramid. You can see all this different stuff. Then we'll go to Giza. Then we fly to Luxor. At Luxor, you have the great temples, the Temple of Karnak and Luxor Temple. You also have the Valley of the Kings, the great mortuary temples. And from there, we'll board the ship and we'll sail up south towards Aswan, or going to Aswan. When we get to Aswan, we go to Abu Simbel, all these different sites. And that on a ship is where we'll have our main activities, including with the main activities on the ship, the networking events, the Learning Party, the live musical performances by the brother Jamar Milton and others. So it's going to really a dope experience. And we'll even go far south as going down to Abu Simbel. So this is the important thing in terms of this package. And the package, like I said, is all inclusive, even down to your food. You get fed every day, breakfast and dinner. On the ship is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So people always have a great time. We don't have much space left. We're kind of late in the game doing this. We've been promoting this since July. But one of the things now, there are some seats left for people who are really interested in going.
No, I was just reading. My man Zan being a little upset. So okay. So if you're gonna go to Egypt, right? Like, why do you feel black people should go to Egypt? Because I mean, you got some people saying that Egypt is on some anti-black shit, but
well,
why should black people go to Egypt? And if you're gonna go to Egypt, part 2, if you are gonna go to Egypt, why should you travel with other black people when you go there?
So I'm gonna answer the second part of that question first. And the second part of that question sort of answers the first part. You want to go with people who understand and know the culture, because they're going to show you the true culture of Egypt. Egypt is very commercialized. In fact, this is a saying that I've had this saying for many, many years. We go to Egypt to visit Kemit. To me, it's two distinct, very different places. You know, we're not going to see the Arab Republic of Egypt. That's not what we're going for. You know, Kemit is within the Arab Republic of Egypt, but we're not going to see that. We're going to see Kemit. And it's two totally different things. They'll try to convince you that it's the same, but it's not. You know, Arab culture has nothing to do with the ancient civilization of the Nile. It just doesn't. So when you go with people who understand their culture and their history, they're going to show you different things. You know what I mean? Egypt is Egypt is not one of the most. Egypt is the longest civilization on earth in terms of its duration. So in that period of the duration of ancient Egypt, not just modern day Egypt, ancient Egypt, you had certain periods of time where there may have been invasions from other people that were non-African. And during these periods, these people they did something what I like to call Egyptized. They didn't come enforcing their ways and their beliefs on the Africans that were there. They in fact adopted those ways. You know what I'm saying? And they praised the black god. But in doing so, they erected temples and other monuments in their likeness. So when you go to these places, during the Greco-Roman phase, you may get confused. You're like, all right, if you don't know, and that's all they're showing you. So if you go, when most times when you go to Egypt, those are the places they're going to show you. They're not going to show you the before. They're just showing you the after. You know what I'm saying? And when you got that sprinkled with Elizabeth Taylor and all those other motherfuckers, you know what I mean? You don't really see the real essence of Nile Valley civilization. You know what I mean? And just to veggie back off that, one of the most important reasons for us to go is so we can reverse the process of brainwashing that we've been through. I know that should sound like a cliche, but the reality is we are the way we are because of the history that we're being taught from a foundational state. You know what I'm saying? From the state of the seeds, from the young people, from the children. We got black children now that are just, I'm saying now, but for some time that is just hopeless. 8, 9, 10 years old. How you 8, 9, 10 years old and don't have any hope for life? You don't have no hope for life because you never seen yourself aspire. You don't see yourself aspiring to be anything because you don't have no sense of who you are. And that's all based on the fact that we're not being taught that in school. So the reality is only for us to get this information, we're going to have to teach our children. We have to learn it ourselves and teach it to our children. You know what I mean? That's the only way we break free from this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole thing is designed to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind. And we're deaf, dumb, and blind because we're not getting that information. And I give you one better. Within that 3,000 years of ancient Egyptian civilization, you saw how important it was to them. History was important to them. In fact, there are several places in Egypt where they were actually recording their own, in a sense, their own history. They were going back thousands of years. They were in love with their own story. You know what I mean? Like they would write down king's lists from thousands of years ago. They would keep recording this information. They would constantly make trips and pilgrimages to places that their ancestors were. You know what I'm saying? And they would erect these monuments and these temples as reminders of empowerment. You know what I mean? So when the youth would see people like, I give you one. There's a place we're going to go, and it's called, and it's Hatshepsut's mortuary temple, Queen Hatshepsut. Next to it is a mortuary temple of a man by the name of Thutmose III. And next to that is Mentu Hotep. Mentu Hotep precedes them by about 500 years. But this is a man who was not only a liberator, but he was also an inaugurator of his people. So they looked at this person as somebody who was a hero to them. You understand what I'm saying? So the history they were studying of Mentu Hotep inspired them to be great. So the reason why we should go is to get that same type of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it does to you. It inspires you in ways that we don't get here. That the education system is not going to give us. You know what I mean? So Thutmose III, who was considered the greatest military person in world history, they still study his tactics today in West Point and other military academies. But his war tactics and his bravery and his resilience and valor in battle was something I'm sure he garnered from Mentu Hotep. And when we go to the Cairo Museum, you see this big black statue of this black man, Mentu Hotep. It's going to hit you differently. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the type of shit that makes sense, because the same thing we're trying to do today, they were doing then. And that's why it lasted for so long, because they kept that inspiration going.
Let me ask you, for those who may be apprehensive, and I see my brother Markeith Bankroll asked the question that I was going to ask. Is it safe to travel to Egypt right now? And then he put, quote unquote, terrorism in Egypt. What's the climate right now?
So there is, well, listen, terrorism, we don't, there's stuff going on in Israel, which is next door. It's not going on in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about, suicide bombings, things like that in Egypt. That's not what's happening there. You don't hear about terrorist acts in Egypt. Another thing about the people in Egypt, Egypt takes security very seriously, particularly when it centers around tourism, because it's such an important aspect of their GDP. You know what I mean? So the tourist sector is always looked upon very seriously when it comes to safety and protection. We also have things like, how can I say this? When I say security seriously there, the airports, for instance, they're like multiple checkpoints in the airports. You don't walk in the airports without your passport. You just can't walk inside on meeting my friend. It doesn't work like that there. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is stripped down, everything is searched, even to get to the check-in counter. You know what I mean? Like there's always security with us on the buses. There's always at the temples. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? And only thing I can give this brother is my Markeith. My personal experiences going there since 1999 has always been love. You know what I'm saying? I never had an experience where I felt, unsafe. And most of my experiences in Egypt are more like grassroots. Most of my time spent there is not necessarily with groups of Americans that I brought there, but it's just people, locals. You know what I mean? So that's where my time and experience comes from, just kind of just chilling with the people. And one thing that's important too, let me add this too. And this is the most important thing I want Black people to understand. Egypt's in Africa, and you are a Black person in Africa. So when they see you, first thing they're going to think is they don't know who you are. They see Black people in a place that you're normally used to seeing Black faces. You understand what I'm saying? So like Americans and things like that's not the first association. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it's kind of this puzzle kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, these are, you know what I'm saying? These are Black people. It's not like, we don't stand out. We kind of just blend in and just move in with the people.
So what made you first start going to Egypt in the first place?
Man, listen, talking about a loaded question. Yo, so that was something I've been wanting to do for very long. So first, like I said, first trip we took was in 1999. Just having knowledge of self, you know what I'm saying? Prior to that, it was raised in an environment where the information was around, and I was fortunate enough to be inspired by listening to Malcolm X and seeing posters of Marcus Garvey and Elijah Muhammad on the wall, things like that. So those people inspired me to learn more about myself. So by the time I was like 14, 15, I was already, we were doing it, So by the time I became like 25, I had the means to go. The first time I went I was about 25 years old. You know what I mean? But it was all about just learning who and what we are. And, I always tell this story, but one of the things that really, for me, transformed my life was reading Destruction of Black Civilization, a book written by a man named Chancellor Williams. I usually have it up here with me, but it's probably in the bookshelf now. But one of the things is reading that book gave me something I didn't have prior to that, and that was Black heroes. All my heroes prior to reading Destruction of Black Civilization were white, were white men. They look very different than we do. In most cases, they probably hated us. You understand what I'm saying? But these are people that, I was like, yo, those people I looked up to. But Destruction of Black Civilization gave me something, something more powerful. Gave me the strength to look in the mirror and like that person. You know what I mean? When you think about that statement, you tied it into what Malcolm X said about they made us hate being Black. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why the violence is the way it is in our communities, because we literally hate ourselves. I mean, it sounds very simple, but when you really break it down, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So that book made me look in the mirror and love what I see. You know what I mean? So that inspired me to really want to make these journeys. And when I got there the first time, I saw all these people from all around the world, everybody coming. You can see a lot of, Asians, Chinese, Japanese, a lot of Europeans. You see all these other cats coming here, but you don't see a lot of Black people, non-Indigenous Blacks. And I was like, yo, we got to do something about this. And that's how we formed Taaqiy Tours, to start really, really telling people like, yo, you need to check this out. Everybody else is checking you out, but you ain't checking you out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that seems to be the case with us a lot of times. We do shit, we kind of forget about it, and everybody else kind of takes the credit for it. Sort of like what's going on in hip hop now. You know what I'm saying? We created this shit. You know what I'm saying? But now everybody else is benefiting from, they eating from it, and they flipped it on us. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what, if you want to have a parallel and put it in contextualize this, you look at Egypt in hip hop, something that we created that they've trying to take, that they spinning it and beating us with our own shit. So we gotta figure out ways to do better.
For me, this is gonna be my first time in Egypt, in Kemit. I've only been to Nigeria. This is the only place I've been in Africa before. And I'm not gonna lie, it didn't feel very cultural when we were there. I was a wild trip. That's a whole other story. But that shit was wild. Um, so I'm looking forward to this for someone like me, especially who, it's their first time going to Kemit and all that. What would be your hopes that I would get out of it, or you know what I mean? That people that go on this trip, what do you
You
want
know,
them
I,
to
I
get
like that. I like that question. I'm gonna tell you something. Throughout the years, and this is different times, different years, different people. There's always one prevailing statement that's made, and it's almost it's so interesting because again, it's the same statement, different people, different times, different trips. People always say, "Damn, I gotta actually go home and rethink everything I was taught." That's
Mm.
the impact it has. You got to really kind of the timeline in terms of, if you are a religious person, it shakes all that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just totally makes you see things differently. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the foundation of civilization. Like, we have the saying, like, we the mother's father civilization, you know what I'm saying? God of universe and all that stuff like that. You'll see it there. And that's where, for me, the 1 to 10, the first thing, part of that comes alive when you could really see what that means. You know what I'm saying? Egypt gives you the opportunity to kind of like apply that phrase or that statement. You know what I'm saying? Being the masters, that's where it's at. Making on the cream of the planet Earth, father civilization, and God of the universe. That father civilization, a long time ago, someone said, don't ever let them tell me you're civilized, because if you're civilized, that means once upon a time you were uncivil. We are the civilizers. And being the civilizers, there is the place that you'll see it. You know what I mean?
I feel like we the god of the planet Earth, of the whole Earth. You know what I mean? I'm
Facts.
not gonna lie. I used to be way more enamored with Egypt and Kemet and Africa itself. You know what I mean? But I'm starting to realize, like you said, you got to rethink everything we've been taught, bro. We are the original man of the planet Earth. There's pyramids all over the earth. Okay? And I'm not sure who's the one telling us that which is the oldest, listen. I know we did this everywhere, and I am going to appreciate the work that we did everywhere. The original man is God of, you know what I mean?
Right.
This whole thing.
We got a brother who just made his transition.
I don't want to get so.
Now I feel you, but listen, let me add on to that, because that's important, because that's a lot of the work that we're doing currently and is connected to that. So there's a brother, great scholar in our community. Some people that's listening probably know the name Runoko Rashidi. He did a lot of work documenting the African presence, in South and Central America, the African presence in Southeast Asia, the African presence in Europe. You understand what I'm saying? So we understand and know that there was an African presence throughout the world, and we're working to not only catalog but document.
What I'm saying is what they're calling an African presence.
But
You see what I'm saying?
But no, it gets deeper than that. It's not
original man that's everywhere, not necessarily rooted from Africa. You know why? Because this whole origin of Africa shit that they feed us is part of their evolution story. Evolution is bullshit. When they try to say that the first person was an African female, they're talking about some unformed human, some sort of almost ape-like, just above an ape type of thing. We are not transformed from apes until humans.
Facts.
Hold up. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Evolution is some bullshit. So if we keep feeding into their evolutionary stories and acting like, oh, Africa was the first place, blah, 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 blah. And if we believe that everything gets better over time in evolution, well, then that would explain why the white man come later in their mind. You see, it's because the white man is the better man. He's the improvement on evolution. That's what they're trying to feed us with this bullshit.
Listen,
so
science.
I'm just saying.
Science tells us
the people of the earth.
Science tells us that's not a fact. Science just tells us that they deal with a degenerated, aspect of human existence, human evolution. That's science.
Not evolution, though. Stop with the evolution.
But listen, what I'm saying, what I'm saying,
evolution. No thing transforms from one thing to another. No species has ever done that.
If you're looking,
a fish don't transform into a frog. Don't happen. Transform into a horse. It's never happened.
Jay, listen to what I'm check this out. So one of the important things is when we say the African presence, and I hear what you're saying. We can argue, we can talk about the fact that there were black people all around the world since the beginning of time. I'm never going to argue that point. When we say the African presence, we're talking about the Africans' ability to move, circumvent the planet.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? That's a whole different kind of
right. But then you're talking about
hold on a second. No. This is the important shit. Because when we really start talking about civilizing and how the Europeans were able to learn navigation, because there were people that were doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So we talk about books like They Came Before Columbus, and the fact that in Columbus memoirs, it talks about, them people like, the Africans were here. You call them what you want. We don't have to necessarily call them Africans, but there were people that came from the African continent that moved to the Americas. You understand what I'm saying? And that's well documented. You know what I'm saying? Even the great expedition by the Mali king, Abu Bakari, you know what I'm saying, that took over 200 something ships. You know what I mean? So we have this evidence of this back and forth economic thing, because that's what's always the theme of this. We got to really understand that the people on that west coast of Africa was looking for new trading partners. The same thing the Europeans was looking for. And that's why when we talk about this economic tour, it's so important to understand that economics is the foundation of civilization. And we got to look at economics as something that's far greater than just money. You know what I'm saying? What is real economics? You know what I mean? So these people were moving, and their movement predominantly was predicated on an economic influence and what they were doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, what makes me think when you say economics, I'm hearing the first part of it is eco. So you have ecosystems,
absolutely, that they created.
Economics,
right?
You see what I'm saying? It's how things interrelate with each other,
right? And this goes back to being the foundations of the mothers and fathers of civilization. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Pete Katz was there. Not going to ever argue that. We look at the Olmec statues, we see all that, and we bear witness to it. You understand what I'm saying? We bear witness to the fact. The same thing when you go to Cambodia. And you see the statues there and the pyramids in Cambodia. You see the same thing. You see, you know what I'm saying, the black faces. We know that. You know what I'm saying? We know we were there. You know what I'm saying? But now when you start to really put it together and see how we were really, really moving around, being masters of this world, that's a whole different type of story. You know what I mean? That's a whole different type of conversation. And that's what this is about. For us being there, or being able to articulate that in a way. So some of the things we're working on is going in the footsteps of these great Africans, not just those in the now, but those who made these great expeditions, who's not getting any credit for it. You got this white faggot, you know what I'm saying? Christopher Columbus was getting the credit, but there were other people that were doing that well before that. You understand what I'm saying? That were doing it, and they look like you. So that's the whole point of this.
I look forward to it. You know what I also look forward to? Going over there and seeing depictions of Newton Geb. You know that the Egyptians didn't believe in no goddamn ball, right? You want to talk about that? You got to.
Nah, man. Listen,
you know we don't live on the outside of a ball, right?
Listen, so
you know that, right?
So check this out.
That's impossible, right? That life lives inside the egg, not on the outside of it. And that water could never stick to the outside of a solid surface. You know that, right?
I feel you.
No. Whoa!
Listen, man, listen.
I'm gonna go there and spark your ass and show you with your own at that own place what they talking about. How they showing you things are level. They're depicting things as level. How would the pyramids align up? Okay, for thousands of years with stars above them, if we are moving through space and all of this bullshit following the sun like the white man tells you we are, that's some bullshit. They knew that we lived on a flat stationary plane, and the fact that you don't know this is disturbing to me. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
So let me just share something with you. I only believe in that which I can show and prove.
Right, and you can't show him.
So
you can't show and prove none of what he's talking about.
So for me, I don't believe in spook gods. You know what I'm saying? And I again, if I can show and prove it, if I, you know,
when you look out onto the horizon, what do you see? A straight line, right? That's what you see, right? Yes or no?
so you know what that sounds like to me, right? That sounds like the people from in during the medieval times.
Wow.
Before they,
No.
you know what I'm saying? Because they
all
thought
that Columbus shit was bullshit. All that Columbus shit was bullshit. They had globes at that time. They didn't believe that the shit was flat. That's some shit they told you in school. Like, you sound crazy right now. Like, seriously, I'm disappointed in you. Like, because I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't. You're not fully conscious unless you know about flat Earth. I ain't gonna.
is that how you feel?
I'm dead ass.
Listen. But I'm
dead ass.
like I said, for me, in the whole thing with the universe and the stars and things like that. Listen, I can't necessarily show and prove it. So I'm not.
You know about Newton Geb, right? Though you know about that depiction, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so how do you explain that? What were they saying with that? You don't know because you don't want to look into it. So you didn't even want to look into it.
So let me ask you this question.
That's crazy.
Let me ask you this question. And I heard you talk about that before. You came on the show the other day. You was talking about
and I can tell you didn't want to touch it. That's why I'm touching it again.
And Geb laying down, and guess that was your representation of being flat.
And the arch of the woman with the stars and that's their depiction of the cosmology of where we live.
Right. So through the aspect of Newt, you see this orb traveling through Newt. Some call it Ra, some call it the sun.
Right. The sun is what moves, not the planet.
So the sun is moving, sun is round.
Right. The sun and the whatchamacallit is moving. Now, okay, go ahead and say what you're saying. The sun is round, the moon is round. No. All planets are not round. And for you to assume that what we're on is the same as what you're looking at is being very
I didn't assume anything. Nah.
You were just about to say
so
that's round, and I know this. I know the arguments.
So check this out.
Here's my argument to that. If you're on a pool table, okay, which is flat and square, if you're looking out, all you're going to see is round balls. Should I assume that what I'm standing on is the same thing that I'm looking at?
I see you're very passionate. I see you're very passionate about this.
Yes, I am, because I know I'm right.
I see you're very passionate about this, but
I know I'm right. Like, you can't really debate me on this. Like,
I'm not. But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. I will never debate that.
But you're kind of trying to.
Nah.
Bit but you don't have real facts to talk about what you're talking about. I'm coming with real shit right now. Like, seriously. Like, when you look up at the sun and when you look up at the moon, they with your eyes, see, they want you to suspend belief. With your eyes, they both look about the same size and about the same distance away. They don't look like no 93 million miles of fucking way and all this bullshit that they told you. Yes, that's some bullshit. Okay? That shit is here in our atmosphere with us. Okay? There is no North and South Pole. If there was a South Pole, how come all magnets point north? How come when you go past a certain point, it wouldn't point to the South Pole? Explain these things to me. If the earth is moving, how come I can't hover in a helicopter for an hour and come down and be somewhere else? Explain all of these things to me. And when you do, I will apologize. But you can't. You never will be able to.
So let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
What is the benefit in knowing this?
To know that they're trying to take God out of the equation. That's the reason why they don't want you to know where you live at, because it would show and prove that you are the center of everything. That when they say you act like this world was you, everything revolves around you. It does, because God created this for you. God loves you. You see, and if you just do what God wants you to do, you don't even have to get up and slave for these motherfuckers every day and go to work and feel like you have to do that in order to get your food, clothes, and shelter. Food grows out and clothes and shelter grow out the ground for free. God gave us that. But we act like that we got to do the white man shit. There is so much benefit to this. It's to control you. It's to make you feel insignificant, that this was all an accident, that somehow you were created from an explosion, which usually destroys things. But now all of a sudden, this one explosion created shit. Okay. And you just came from particles of dust, and you're fucking lucky to be here. There's millions of planets out there, and you could just be one of them, and blah, 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 blah. That's all some bullshit, sir. And I'm here to wake you up to this fact. This is why you met me.
That's
okay?
why.
Dead ass.
But listen,
okay? You connected me to Jamar Milton. Shout out to my brother, young Jamar.
So
but I'm here. I'm gonna bring you to Egypt. You're gonna bring me to Egypt, and I'm gonna show you something that you didn't know after 20 some odd years of going there.
So I'm gonna ask you that same question again. So first of all, I don't see God as being outside of myself. So what is the benefit for me knowing that the world is flat? How does that help me?
Because why would you not want? That's called knowledge of self, sir. It's called knowledge of self. That's like saying, why would I want to know what's inside my body? Like, that sounds retarded, sir. You have to know the reality of where you live and what's going on around you. It's that simple. You want to live in a false existence? You want some motherfuckers, you an ugly motherfucker, and niggas been telling you all this, oh, you're handsome, you're handsome. No, you're not, sir. They've been lying to you. Here's the real of it. Your face is deformed. You know what I mean?
With the exception of, I wouldn't even call it a hypothesis, because scientifically
what?
Have you been able to really show and prove?
Yeah, Dave, first of all, have you ever heard of the Mike Michelson-Morley experiment?
No, I have not.
Okay, of course you haven't. It's an experiment that was done before Einstein and all them, where they tried to show and prove that the earth was spinning, and they failed. They could not show and prove it. So what happened? They come with your man Einstein, who tries to come with a theory, of relativity, because they were mad that they couldn't show and prove that this shit wasn't spinning. So they came up with this theory where they jived numbers, blah, 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 to try to explain what they couldn't prove with machines and all of that type of shit. The Michelson-Morley experiment. Look it up.
So that right there proves that the world is flat.
Listen. That's just one of the things.
Okay.
Here's another thing that proves that there is no curve and all that. There should be 8 inches per square mile of curvature. Okay. So for every square mile that you have, there should be at least 8 inches. So now do the math, right? If you were to say go 300 miles or so, you know how much fucking physical curvature you should be able to see. But you never see any curvature. You always see what's called a horizon. What's the foundation of the word horizon? Horizontal. Okay. It's not a curvizon. It's a horizon, sir. And when you look out, all you see is a straight line. No matter how high you go, no matter how low you go, all you see is a straight line. If you go up in a plane, if you do see any curve, it's because of the windows are curved to try to make some little slight curve, but that is the windows of the plane. If you look out any regular, you're going to see a straight, flat line, my brother. And they want you to suspend belief with your own eyes. They want you to look at things. And first of all, does it feel like you're spinning? Yes or no?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So now they want you to suspend belief and say, no, you're actually spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. If we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, where's the 1,000 miles an hour winds?
Jay,
listen.
I feel you. Listen, but I'm gonna tell you, like I said to you at the beginning. I don't even get with it.
It matters.
Listen, I hear you. I feel you. It matters, but
they knew it. And what I'm saying is, the place you are enamored with, they knew this. So that's what Newton Gab is about.
When I think about ways to change the situations in my community, I'm not thinking about that.
Right.
The shit
Which
that
should be.
But hold on for a second.
You know why?
So when I'm coming,
because it makes you understand how much and the simplification of how much they will lie, how far they will go, how big they will take it. See, you think they'll lie just about small things in history? They lie about the simplest shit, the biggest shit they are lying about. And they're all in on it. They've never been to outer space. That's all some bullshit. There is no fucking outer space, bro. And if you believe that, you're still fucking trapped into the white man's matrix. I'm telling you. There's only satelloons. There are no satellites in outer space, bro. There is no fucking space station and all this fucking crazy shit that they fool you with CGI and all this green screen and all this bullshit.
Listen,
like, you've been fucked.
I feel you. Like I said,
and that shit matters. Like, I hate when people try to act like, oh, well, that's the same attitude that people say, well, that's gonna get me some money.
It's
like,
not.
Niggas act like,
it's not that at all.
You know what I mean? Just finish what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times people take a certain attitude like, well, how's that information going to happen in my everyday life? How's it going to help me get paid? Blah, 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 blah. Like, bro, the truth is always helpful. The truth is always going to set you free. Okay? So fuck if you don't see the benefits of it now. Trust me, the truth will always set you free.
I feel you.
Trust me. Watch when we go there. That's right, A1 Drizzy. Watch when we go there. You're gonna be like, oh shit. Like, I'm gonna break science down for you that you didn't even know about the place that you've been going to.
So listen. So one of the things about Egypt and me is being practical. You know what I'm saying? I ain't there to romanticize about this shit. I'm figuring out ways in which we can use that information to empower ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And the shit got to make sense. Make it make sense. Fuck all the dumb shit. It got to make sense. You understand what I'm saying? So if we're not looking at ways to be like, how does 1 + 1 = 2 and really, really get out of the situation we're in, nothing else really fucking matters to me.
Rasani, thank you, Rasani. It's Newt and Geb, not Newton. Not Newton Geb. It's Newt and Geb. It's a depiction. Just look it up. Just look up the depiction, the Egyptian depiction of Newt and Geb. And you will see one is lying down and one is arched over like the canopy of the sky, like the dome.
So,
yeah.
It's very important.
Sky and earth.
It's not sky and earth. That's not what Geb is. Geb is not the planet. So that's very important to understand.
What is it?
Geb is the actual fertilization of the ground. It's the earth. It's the
ground.
It's
right. It's the land.
It's the land. It's not necessarily the representation of the planet.
The land. See, you're going like this.
So I'm saying
say like this.
So one of the things,
the land,
because
and then that's the canopy of the sky.
Listen, God, we want to really build. If we want to really build about it, we can talk about it. I didn't really want to get into cosmology and what
I do. That's interesting to me.
And what it, you know what I'm saying, all represents things like that. But because I'm like, listen, what is the importance of us being here, even like right now?
Right. What's the importance of us being here?
Like right now, right this second. You know what I'm saying? Right now, right this second.
You know the truth. Why do you
wait? Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Then.
Right.
Why are we trying to go there then? To find out what?
That's the importance of this. But it's not just. It's not necessarily. It's not all of it. It's not necessarily to find out things. It's to find yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
I have to go there to find myself then.
Well, listen. We said there's an African presence everywhere. This is just one of the particular. This is one of the particular places.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we use this as a place, and like something one of our great scholars said a long time ago. Egypt is to Africans as Greece and Rome is to Europeans. You know what I mean? And we must.
No, asteroids are not real.
we must see it that way. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to talk about something very important, and that's critical because when we think about even this conversation we're having now, it's like, what is the importance of it? I don't have that type of conversation, but it's like at that time and moment, what is the importance of that? You know,
importance is that it was being showed and proved by your ancestors, and now you're acting like it's not being showed and proved. Like they gave you a depiction of it, and now you're trying to act like that's not what they were saying, and it's kind of pissing me off.
So
like they knew this, and this is part of why I want to go to really see that for myself. And you're here not understanding. You're more you're more focused on some other shit that's important to you about Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? You're focused.
Well, not even because you asked the question earlier. What inspired me to go? The same impetus. What inspired me to go was what's important to me now. It's not necessarily about Egypt. What's important to me now is how the fuck do we make a difference?
Right. But you're not going to make a difference.
That's what's important.
You don't know the world that you're in.
Listen. We can argue that point, and you know.
Can you make a difference with your
body? Let me add on to that. If we want to take the saying of Malcolm, like we can say things, we can debate about religion, we can debate about philosophy, shit like that. But one thing we need to know as Black people, we need to understand the common denominator. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I see this shit as right now. So we can talk about, you know, philosophical views on flat earth and all other shit.
It's not philosophical.
Hold on, what I'm saying. Hold on, B. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about that. Or we could get into the nitty-gritty of what the fuck is important.
Right. You know what I'm telling you, this is truth is important.
Listen,
truth is important. You're not going to tell me that it's not.
Listen, I didn't say it wasn't, but what I'm telling you is that we sticking here. What we doing? We moving on. We sticking here. We're gonna talk about.
Listen, we talked about I went through all my questions. That's kind of why now we here. And this was the interesting one. This was the one that kept us here the longest time because you want to give all this, you know what I mean? Rigmarole.
Nah, it's not. It's not at all.
Really, like not at all. You're gonna just write it off like it's not important.
I don't. But see, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm trying to tell you is.
No, the Egyptians don't know it's flat now. They're in on the bullshit with everybody else. But the ones back then knew.
That's an interesting statement. But
I'm telling you, and I'm going to show you when we go there. I'm going to show you even how they depict everything on a plane, on a flat plane, where even the boats ride on flat planes. Stop it. When they go to the underworld, you never see no curve. It's a flat plane, brother. Stop it. Look under their feet on all depictions. Just look.
And how are they supposed to draw that?
They're drawing what it is.
They're drawing what it is.
If it was something else, they were capable of drawing other shapes. Obviously, they made pyramids. They made all kinds of shapes. If the shape below their feet was other than a flat plane, they would have depicted it that way. And how do you get a level on something? How does a level even exist on a curved surface? Why do we level everything? Why do you level your house? And guess what you use to level something? Water in a bubble. Get the fuck out of here, man. All right, listen, man, this has been great.
Hey, yo, so I'm just like,
you're not gonna fuck with me, bro. Like, trust me.
Listen,
you're not gonna just write this off like I'm bugging.
I'm not.
It's very important, and just keep your mind open. And all I'm saying is,
I want to go back to
improve.
I want to go back to that because listen, it's not the first. You know, look,
when we're there, I'm gonna show and prove when we're there. Okay, that's it. That's it. Now,
when you show up, now listen, let's follow your chain of thought. You show and prove. You go there. You show and prove. What's that going to make? How's that going to make you feel?
It's going to make me feel like I got one more person who understands that I made understand, and that's fine.
Okay.
I like to make understand and understood. 3 and 3 is 6, which is equality.
All right. So I feel you. So now we're using math. Okay. So in the lessons, it speaks about
that they're wrong. They're wrong.
So
yes. They need to be updated. When it says you renew your Quran every 25,000 years, we need to renew our Quran because that's incorrect. Those things are incorrect, and I got God's.
So all the actual
me right now.
All the actual facts are wrong.
Yep, is wrong. Yep. Solar facts wrong. Okay, I said it. I'm looking in the camera. They wrong. Now what?
So the actual facts are wrong, but the math is right. No, I'm saying, I mean,
the math, as far as what knowledge, wisdom, understanding, all those things, yes, those are principles that are right. Now here's what's wrong is how we've been teaching it. That 0 is a placeholder when 0 is everything. 0 comes before 1. So we should be teaching cipher, then knowledge, wisdom, understanding. But we was teaching knowledge to born, and then acting like cipher is some sort of placeholder, when cipher means you're entering a new cipher. You're entering a new area of expertise or knowledge, or you're entering a new place. And now it starts over with 1, 2, 3, 4 until you get to 9, which you're entering a new cipher. If 1 was first, we would go from 9 to, 11. You wouldn't have 10. You wouldn't have 20, 30. You understand? It's not a placeholder. 0 is actually the whole thing. And they taught us the opposite. They told us that 0 meant nothing. And that's bullshit. 0 is the whole pie. And when you start cutting the pie, that's how you get different numbers. You understand? So these are things that need to be reintroduced. We need to renew our Quran. We need to look at, re-examine things now that we have more superior knowledge. We need to do that in this nation. And I'm ready to pioneer that.
You're ready to pioneer that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I just want to know why you're so passionate about it. You know what I mean?
Because the truth is my armor.
The truth
and
is
the truth will set you free. And I'm all about the truth. And I'm not going to sit around and bullshit with people. And I know you don't want to hear that.
So let me ask you this question.
This is what you're about, but I still got to say what I know.
Nah, listen, I feel you though. But let me ask you this question.
Feathers. That's what I do. I'm a disruptor.
Now, how does that? And I think I may have asked you this question, but let me ask you this question in a different way. How does that translate to the youth that's out there in the street, like banging? Like, why is that shit important to them? Like, how do we make them see the earth being flat, stopping them from doing the shit that they're doing?
Again, it shows you that you've been lied to from the very beginning about everything. You've been lied to from the minute you come out your mother's womb. The minute you are able to understand, they shove globes in your face before you're able to even talk. They shove a fucking globe in your face and tell you that this is what it is. If that wasn't important to them, why would they do it? Why would they teach you all of this shit in 3rd grade about Christopher Columbus and all of this type of shit? In 3rd grade, they teach you that. It's obviously important to them, for you to know their bullshit. But now you're acting like, why is this not important? See, these are questions, like those kind of questions.
There's a second part. I hear you. Listen,
because it does. Listen,
there's a second part
matters.
To that. There's a second part to that. There's a second part to that.
It all matters, bro.
No, and listen, I'm asking not to be a dick. I'm asking you that question because I need to understand. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is this. So the whole point of us doing what we're doing. So hold on. Let me build. The whole point of
I was gonna finish saying.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So if you know that these people lie about everything, right? Then you'll also understand that you've been lied to about what this lifestyle that you're living, like you've been lied to about jewelry and its value. You've been lied to about designer clothes. You've been lied to about everything. And it didn't just happen later on in life. It's happened from the minute that you've come into this fucking world. Okay? And once you start to receive the truth, it unlocks everything in your life, brother. It unlocks everything in your life. Once I knew that the black man was God, just that one piece of truth leads you to all other areas of truth and freedom. Because if I didn't know that truth, that the black man was God, and if the God Bakim didn't come up to me, who was a guard in the mall, and I was just one of these assholes running around the mall looking for broads and, you know what I mean, doing all this stupid stealing and all this stupid shit, if he didn't stop and say, hey, you know the black man is God? Gave me the message to the black man and all this type of shit. Like, you think it's just those type of truths that'll take somebody out of their condition of bullshit. But I'm telling you, any kind of truth can help lead you to the right path. And at the end of the day, why do you want to waller in a lie? Why would you want to do that? It doesn't make sense, brother.
So I'm gonna go back
to saying getting shit off you. Why would you? How is getting shit off you helpful to the youth? It's gonna make them smell better. It's more sanitary. There's a whole lot of reasons, bro. You just got to sit down and figure it out for yourself. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the truth is always gonna help you, bro. It's always gonna help you. That's why you started going to fucking Egypt in the first place. Because you got exposed to some truth. Come on, man.
You finished? I ain't want to interrupt you.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm finished.
Good. All right. So my official position on that is indifferent. I'm indifferent to it.
I see.
And I'm indifferent to it because I'm like, first things first, again, I fuck with things I can show and prove. Can I show and prove? Do I have a space? Hold on a second. Do I have this? Do I have that? These, a spaceship and shit to do that? No, I don't. So my thing is this. We could talk about that. We could debate about it. We can argue about it. Shit like that. And to what point? You know what I mean?
I'm just saying there's been laser experiments that show and prove that there is no curve and all of that.
And I've heard arguments on both sides.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a million motherfuckers that's gonna stand by the world is round and they're gonna show you 1,000 different things.
Okay. Do I seem like a stupid person to you?
No, it's not even about
in this to try to disprove it. I'm gonna just let you know that. Like,
listen,
I got in this to disprove it. I thought it was the stupidest shit in the world. It is not something that can be disproven. I'm just gonna we'll just leave it there. Okay, we'll just leave it there.
Let me give you one back.
No.
I'm not even. I'm moving on.
Okay, let's everybody come to Egypt, and when y'all come to Egypt, I'm gonna be there with y'all, and I'm gonna show and prove. He don't have to be there. He can go do what the hell he want to do. But whoever wants to come with me, I'm gonna show and prove on this trip what I'm talking about.
So you know how you said this is your show. That's my show. So right. we'll make sure that the information is disseminated the right way and the correct way. And that is listen. We can definitely have that conversation. But there are a lot of there's the conversation there is how to empower ourselves economically using that information from the past. That's what the theme is to understand that the history is important. We're going to see the history. We're going to tie the history in, but it's not just about talking about history. It's how to use that history to apply it to our present day situation, then taking that to apply ourselves economically. That's what the foundation is. That's what the film is about. And that's what the foundation in the universe is about. It's about the economics. And as you said, the ecosystem and understanding what that truly means. So that's what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, and thinking about ways in which we can really come together and do some real HAPI shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't laugh, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I was reading the comment.
When we see the HAPI, we see the unification. We see the tying of the papyrus and lotus plants. That represents the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. And that's the shit that we're talking about. When we first thought about doing this thing many, many years ago, this thing called HAPI was about the unification of the two kingdoms, that of Kemit and Kush, and bringing them together.
Hold on, wait a second. Though with the Upper and Lower Kingdom, I'm just asking you.
But like I'm trying to. Come on, God, I'm trying to build now, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to build now. So listen, when you start thinking about just the whole backwards aspect of history and all that other shit, we developed the name, but the name HAPI for what we're doing came about because it talked about the relationship between the kingdoms of the Nile. And this is shit is important because essentially Nubia or Kush is the parent or the mother in Egypt is like the child. So what they did was they took Kemit out of Africa and placed Egypt in the Middle East by causing divisions or by saying there was a problem between the South and the North. So it's all about the unification. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm sure there's a lot of shit they disagreed on. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sure there's a lot of shit that they didn't like. I ain't really fucking with that. We got our own shit over here. But when it came to the important shit, they figured out ways to do it. And that's the type of shit niggas got to figure out today. How do we figure out the important shit and land on that? You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't, we fucked. You know what I mean? Like some shit is not. I'm just saying. I'm not being disrespectful, but some shit is not important to me when it comes to black folks. I'm like, yo, listen. Dogs, at the end of the day, we got too much other shit going on right now. You know what I mean? So that's my view on it. I think people, shit, there's always gonna be people with different views on shit. And just let them rock out with it. You know what I mean? But if we can't link up and get money together, do some shit together, then that's where we fucking up as people.
Yeah, we can always do that. I mean, get money. That's
I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying in general. Like we not linking up trying to make some real power moves. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does the shit though. Chinese, fucking Japanese, all these other people, they do that shit well. We got problems getting together, unifying and doing some real power shit. And I don't know, we get stuck in, even go back to, even Africa. Africa's fucked up because tribalism. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas is just too much of that. We this, we that, we this, we that. Like we got a real problem with setting differences aside and being like, yo, we got to come together. And until we can figure that shit out, then we got problems.
Oh shit! Hold on. Wait, hold up. No, hang on. Now go ahead, talk.
No. So so that's it, man. You know what I mean? I think we made the point. People got it. They know what type of time we on. You know what I'm saying? And why it's important for us to be come together, for them to go. We can go back to the beginning of the conversation, reiterate that in terms of just understanding who and what they are. In terms of seeing themselves, looking in the mirror. Going to Egypt is like looking in the mirror. You know what I mean? So you're seeing yourself in that greatness. And seeing yourself as and aspiring to be something greater than what, let's break that glass ceiling. Let's get beyond that because we can do great things. But you got to be able to see yourself doing great things.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely going to be interesting. Now, you said something about a linen party.
Yes.
That's the finale of
Nah. So on the ship, we got the networking event. We have a linen party. And linen's important because linen represents, so in terms of just talking about the ecosystem and everything like that, going back to ancient Egypt, linen was one of the most sought after commodities. We were the first people created the stock market. You know what I mean? Like Wall Street. We had the first Wall Streets. You understand what I'm saying? Because there was no money there. So everything was done through trade and bartering. So when you go to basically, any stock exchange, you're basically trading goods. Especially in commodities markets. And that's what ancient Egypt essentially was. They had several markets, of course, and people would go there and trade commodities. Fucking apples for oranges. And I'm just giving examples, fish for bread or whatever it was. But things, value will put on certain things based on the supply and demand, or how rare or how precious something was. You know what I mean? So how abundant it was. If it was a lot of apples, people were like, yo, I need like 1,000 of them to get one fish because it was just so plentiful. You know what I mean? So we were the first people to try to create that system. So linen was one of the most sought after commodities in the sense that it would, was a woven fabric that people wore, as everyday clothing, but they also used it for mummification, which is a very important aspect of the civilization. They use it to actually wrap people up. So people was like always looking for linen. You know what I mean? So to understand the importance of commodity and how distinct to which we went through it, the linen party is a commemoration of that.
Uh, maybe you don't care about this, but did you know linen has a very high vibrational is like one of the highest vibrational fabrics, like above regular cotton. And like different fabrics have different vibrational, like polyester and all these shits like have the same vibrations of a dead person. You understand? Like
Right,
this is
right,
shit that they have measured. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
right.
Um
And
so
which would
like
make sense.
did you
Why they
notice like back in the days they would call your what you sleep on linens?
Mhm.
Because the bed sheets was made of linen. You see, so they would wrap the mummies in linen. You would want to wear linen because that's a high vibrational. When you wear linen underwear and shit like that, your sperm count and all of that increases and shit like that. And
That's
when
right. Make it make sense.
where you wear these lower vibrate, it all makes sense, bro.
Right.
And when you wear lower vibrational fabrics, your shit can go down. So when you wearing polyester underwear and shit like that, that can actually bring your fucking sperm count down. So I don't know if you knew that about linen, but linen is very one of the highest vibrational fabrics.
So, okay. Peace. So in addition to the linen party, we also, you know what I'm saying, have the live performances by Jamar Milton and a few others that's going to be on the ship. And then we also have the gala. You know what I mean? So those are the
Wait,
three.
we're gonna have a hip hop performance on the HAPI/Nile River. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
And we're doing hip hop parties on the Nile River.
Hip hop, R&B, a celebration of us. Call it the best of both worlds. You know, who we are now and who we were then. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating ourselves. There's a lot of, good music black folks have made throughout the years. I'm saying, you're a musician. I ain't gonna tell you that.
So
Speaking to
let
the
me
choir
ask
now.
you, do you think there has been like a hip hop type of function on the Nile before?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of either.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
So we could be the first ones doing some hip hop, like a hip hop boat ride up the Nile or down the Nile.
Up.
Okay.
We're going up.
Up the Nile, a hip hop boat ride up the Nile in the 50th anniversary year of hip hop.
Speak on it.
Technically, people say, well, 2024. No, the date of the party was what, in August or something like that. So I think so you'd have August to August, really. It would be August to, you know what I mean?
Right.
To August 2024. So we would technically still be in that year range, that 50th year range. And so now hip hop is going to the Nile in the 50th year. This is also how we can look at it from that perspective. Yes?
Yes. No, definitely. And it's important that we do that. It's important that we see it from that lens and we understand, we make that connection to who and what we are, because not just on the economic side front, but we also was doing it, not necessarily with turntables in Kemit, but definitely the drum and other things, you know what I'm saying, the dances and different aspects. We'll also see the origins of things like martial arts. So again, when we speak of the origins of civilization, you'll see it there from different aspects, not just the economics, but aspects again, and all different forms of art and culture. You know what I mean? So that's the important thing to really underscore, that you'll see those things, and that music flavor is definitely one of the big things. And I think for us also, and this is something that's near and dear to you, and I appreciate this about you, is the fact that, one of the things is when we communicating with our people, when we got to speak their language. We need to understand that we're going to try to reach people and try to wake them up, or try to wake up the youth and things like that. We got to come to them in language that they understand. You know what I mean? We got to make it real for them, make it make sense. It got to be something that they can relate to. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be too far removed from anybody so they don't understand it. They're like, I can't really get with that. So at the same time, as we're learning and as we appreciate and as we're respecting the past, we're also being who we are. And that's important. You know what I'm saying? That's very important for us to go there with that understanding that, like, this is who we are today. We're not that. We're gaining inspiration from that. You know what I'm saying? But this is who we are. And to take those two things together and make it make sense for the people that we're trying to, you know what I'm saying, the minds we're trying to wake up. So, yo, shout out to you. I appreciate you for that, because that's a big, big thing for you. And I know how important that is. And it resonates with me when you say it. You know what I'm saying? When you speak to the fact that, yo, it's like, it gotta look a certain way for our people. Motherfuckers ain't gonna fuck with it if they like, yo, they can't relate to it. It don't jive with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got
you
their
come
language.
to the people as the people, man. Like, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's what made the 5% successful in hip hop. You know what I mean? As far as any other philosophy or you know, type of culture within hip hop, we the ones that came to the people as the people, but still had that truth. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the Nation of Islam, you know, you got to wear a suit and a bow tie. You know what I mean? That
Right.
puts you a little outside. You're not, you know, the Ansars that, you know, I remember when KMD and them, they was performing with the white robes on and all of that type of shit. Like, that's, you know, you're putting yourself outside of what it is, like, you know what I mean? But then here come the guards. We always dress, you know what I mean?
Right.
Come on, we was the flyest. Look at Rakim and Kane, and you know what I mean? Like, we come through like, what? Ooh, yeah, that's how I want to, you know? But then we telling you something that, you know, we look like you, but here's something a little extra. You know what I mean? And that's what's very helpful. And when you say it in a certain way, you know what I mean? When you can articulate something in street language, you see, to a street motherfucker, it all depends on how you talk, and you don't want to be talking over their head and try to act like you're too smart, you know, for them. And, you know, now they're not fully understanding what you even talking about. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's the, you know, that's the important thing. I don't know. Listen, the legend goes, you know, the father Malcolm had that conversation, like, you get the youth, we get the other people, and that was the way the conversation. I don't know if it's true or not, but if Clarence left the mosque with the lessons, with the express purpose of reaching the youth, it would make sense for him to kind of come to them in their own way. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, listen, that's what it's about. And if we not figure out ways how to, you know, again, make it make sense and how to communicate to our people, man, we failed. I don't see no other group, man, having the problems we have.
Thank you, Sagan Yahawada. He said, I'm sorry, bro, but
I don't think we ever said we was descendants from ancient Egyptians.
I just got to read what he said. I'm sorry, bro. We're not descendants from ancient Egyptians. Yes, we are Black, but they are totally different from so-called Black Americans. Yes, that's probably true. But yeah, like he said, he didn't say that we're descendants of ancient Egyptians. He's trying to look at what the ancient Egyptians did as far as economics are concerned and seeing how we can apply that to our everyday life. That's the main focus of what this trip is about, right or left.
Let me add on to that too. So this is the real key thing here that we gotta. We talked about the pyramid analysis earlier: economics, politics, and culture. For conscious people, the culture piece is there. We got the unks, we got the clothes, we got this, we got that, the names, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We mastered that. The economic piece and the political piece is something that's far removed from us. Culture is like that low-hanging fruit. We grab it. Any successful group of people master all three: Chinese, Jews, whatever. They have their Chinese, their economics and their politics is centered around Chinese culture. And what that tells you, what that does effectively is it tells you to do business with your people economically, to have your politics, you know what I'm saying, mastered by your culture. Because your culture essentially is, if you want to think about a pyramid or a triangle, the culture is that pinnacle, is that top piece. And it feeds both your economics and your politics. So what we have in our community effectively is Black people with consciousness, but no fucking money. And that's the problem. Or vice versa. We have Black people with money, but no consciousness. So what we need is the people with the culture to be connected to their economics and their politics. And once we do that, you'll see, you know what I'm saying, a new Black Mecca, or whatever you want to call it. It's Black people with consciousness that have money and political power. That's something we haven't seen in a long time. And that's the problem. And that's what we garner from ancient Egypt. Black people with economics, politics, and culture. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we got to see this. Is we got to connect. We talked about this before when we was on the phone. Money and consciousness. Like that shit is just like those two things seem to be.
For a very long time, consciousness has been connected with being
poor righteous teachers.
Yes, poor righteous teachers, with being broke. And that's what makes a lot of people be like, I don't know, fuck with that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, y'all guys ain't getting no money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so now you want to listen to, you know, somebody like, you know, Kodak Black, you know, who obviously is not somebody to listen to, but he got money. He got money. So you figure, well, if he got money, he must know some shit that I don't know. So let me listen to him. And that's a shame, because shit, a dog can get money. A dog can make money technically, right? Do some tricks and get paid. That don't make the dog smart. It just means he's able to earn some money. If he's on TV, he's gonna get more money. So yeah,
that culture piece, man. And you take that formula and you apply that formula to any group, you find their successes and their failures, because all civilizations is based on economics, politics, and culture. What is that economics? You can see that economics is formulated based on the way they think. Their politics is formulated based on the way they think. Who they do business with is based on everything points to that culture, which gives you your deep values. You know, your economics is your productive capabilities in terms of your production, how you make goods and things like that. Your politics is your management capabilities, how you manage the economics. But your culture gives you your deep values, which really, really gets into how you produce and how you manage. That right there, and that's from Dr. Leonard Jeffries, one of our great elders and scholars, is the formula for our success, brothers and sisters. That is the way in which we can get through the shit that we're in now. And in ancient Egypt is definitely a model for great economics, politics, and culture. And that's all we're saying. That's all I'm saying. So that's why we should go. You know what I mean? And to really, really make it make sense and make it plain. Like we talked about making the shit real plain, making it real simple. That's as simple and plain as we can get.
Well, listen, people, you heard it straight from the source. We're going to have other people coming on in the coming weeks who are going to be on the trip. Professor Smalls will be joining us. Jamar Milton will be joining us. Sister Felicia will be joining us. And I think we have someone else.
Probably Infudishi.
Yeah, Infudishi. That's right.
This was one of the guides there. You know, listen, we're gonna be learning, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna eat good, we're gonna dress good, we're gonna be in our glory.
Wait, what are we gonna be learning? What are we learning?
What are we learning? We're learning
economics.
But it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. Economics.
Like are there gonna be straight, like, you know what I mean? Like economic
classes, workshops. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Those are optional. Those will be on the ship.
Okay.
Our tours in terms of the excursions, like going to the pyramids. We'll see the pyramids, of course. We'll go to all the major sites in Kemit. But I want people to understand there's always an economic undertone to that. And I'll give you, for instance, when I see pyramids, what is the plan before the plan? Before they laid down the plan to develop and construct the pyramids, they had to lay down a plan to fund that project. And again, you're not talking money. So what are resources necessary for them to put that funding, that project together before they even built that? Because they had to build a whole village of people. They had to build a whole village that sustained thousands or tens of thousands of people for over a series of decades to be able to do that. That you need a whole bunch of resources to do that. You just can't just overnight wake up, say, I want to do this shit without putting the plan before the plan together. And with that being said, one of the things that's important for people to understand, not just Black folks, but we seem to have a problem doing this. We have to plan better when we're doing shit. You know what I'm saying? We need to look at, like, we're trying to fund a project, we're trying to put together something, just anything we're doing. What is that plan? How does that look? What does that look like? What are the people we're going to have involved? What are the necessary resources we're going to have? Who's going to be in charge? And all these different things that they did to be successful. And that's essentially what this is. However, while we're there, we'll also see things like the origins of Christianity. You're definitely going to see that. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely going to see the origins of martial arts. You'll see African cats doing martial arts thousands of years before the Chinese were. You know what I'm saying? So when you think again about, this place we go in Egypt.
What about yoga?
You'll see some of the yoga positions too. You know what I'm saying? The yoga praises, things like that. You'll see the origins of all those different things. So it's not just economics. And again, not just economics from the sense of wealth. It's economics from the sense of just being the foundation of civilization, which is so much more, you know what I'm saying? It's so much deeper than that. And also when we think of economics, we think of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Spirituality in the sense that everything we do in a spiritual sense, like our prayers, our libations, our offerings, all these things is an economic act because you're giving something with the thought of getting something in return. In ancient Egypt, they called it ma'at. Everything was based on reciprocity in the civilization. You know what I mean? People call it karma, whatever you want to call it. But the reality is it was based on that. So when you understand economics deals with your relationship with the creator, God, whatever you want to call it, it's an economic relationship. It's an economic exchange. You're getting something for something. Everything we do in life, you're working out, you're giving something for something. That's economics. You know what I mean? So this conversation here, it's all based on economics. You understand what I'm saying? So when you understand the universe and you understand what economics really is, you understand who you are and your true power. That's what this is about.
Well, that's what's up, people. The link is in the description. Yeah, we're gonna leave this joint up, and yeah, just go.
Real important though. Yeah, iCareTours.com. We definitely want to throw that up there. Yeah, that's where they register, and when you register, make sure you put down. You heard about it from Yadameen, heard about it from Lord Jamar. Make sure you put down when you talk about the trip. When you register, you put that information in there. You know what I'm saying? That's the important thing. And also, people, if you're interested in going on a longer trip, Group 1, from the dates of the 16th to the 25th, just give us a call and we'll walk you through the registration process. I don't know, you want to take this number down, put it up too? Yes, right? Yes, iCareTours.com. Yes, sir. That's how you register for the trip. When you go to the site, you'll see just the 17th to the 24th. But anybody who's interested in doing a longer trip, the more extensive version.
You say you got a phone number? You want to?
Yes. 646-907-8344. And people, it's funny because I forgot the entire thing. I should have mentioned this. When you posted the meme, people already started calling. You know what I'm saying? Soon as you put it up, people was like, yo, they was interested in, knowing more about it. So it's definitely getting traction. Family, we ain't got much space left. We've been rocking this since July. So definitely if you're interested in being a part of this, you gotta get on it right away. We know it's short time. February, go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to say that y'all are getting the first dibs at this, because I'm gonna let you know, like my homegirl Miss Jones invited me to come up to the radio station, and this was one of the things that she was talking about. She was, I want to help you with, talk about your trip to Egypt. That's big, and da 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 da. You know what I mean? So once it goes on the radio like that, like if it's limited spaces, I'm just saying, like, it's getting ready to be out of here. Like, you know what I mean? So y'all is family, like y'all is like, you know what I mean? If you want to come hang with the God, and I'm not just gonna be like by myself, just not fucking with people, like, you know what I mean? We're gonna be camaraderie, we traveling together type of shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Let me add on to that. So when I first introduced it to him, he was like, yo, I'm down, definitely 100% I want to go. I introduced him to the second option. He was like, nah, man, I want to see everything. He said, I want to be a part of all of it, man. So I was like, yo, I really appreciated that. You know what I mean? So definitely, like you say, he's gonna be interacting with folks. He's mad amped, excited about it. So it's real.
Yeah. So I'm just
I'm
saying.
sorry,
like,
yo. I'm sorry, yo. That's actually wrong. It's AKH.
Oh, AKH. My bad.
Yes.
See, I knew something looked weird. Would you just get a text from from Felicia? She's probably on it. Hey, where is it at? Oh, that's what I gotta do. KH.
Yes, AKHETTOURS.
Okay. Aket Tours.
Yes, yes. And like I said, make sure y'all put down, you heard about it through Yadamin, Lord Jamal.
Well, they're gonna ask you anyway. How you heard about this?
Right.
You're like, all right, you're like Godcast,
you know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Instagram, Lord J, some shit. I want to go because I want to hang out with Lord J. And keep in mind, you don't have to just be from New York. You could be from anywhere. You just got to get to JFK.
Yo, we got people
coming from like London and shit like that, right?
Facts.
Yeah,
we got people coming from all over the world.
Yeah.
That's gonna be here. Nah, definitely.
Yeah, this ain't just for the people from America.
No.
But we want to we traveling together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's not like you want to meet us out there type of shit. Like, well, could somebody? If
yes.
So you could meet us out there. Okay.
With that being said, you know, if people, because the folks coming from London, they're not flying to New York to go back. They're coming straight from London there.
And if you're in Africa right now, shit.
We got a couple of people coming from Kenya. That's going to be with us. People coming from Ghana. That's going to be with us. You know what I mean? So
we
definitely
have a lot of people from the continent that watch this show.
South Africa. So a lot of people from, you know, they've been contacting me from all over. I got an email the other day. Somebody is in Europe, you know, in France, like, yo, I want to come through. I'm like, yeah, it's all you got to do. Right. You know what I mean? For those people, it's the price is a little different because they'll be getting their own international flight, but everything else will be included. So it'll be a little cheaper for them. Not necessarily cheaper, but cheaper in the sense of what, you know, the package would be. But everything else would be, you know what I'm saying, included, except the international portion for them.
Right. Yeah, so listen, this is getting ready to go like big. You know what I mean? So y'all got the first dibs on this. Y'all who have tuned into this live. Then once we share this live, it's gonna be more people to know. Once I get on that radio, that's gonna be a hell of a lot of people. That's literally millions right there will be exposed to it.
And listen, shit, man, I mean, maybe 15, 20 spots left. So I'm like, yo, y'all got to get on it for real.
Okay, you heard him.
Once you go to
20 spots.
Yeah, once you go to the radio, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we have with the ship is limited cabins. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't going beyond that because most everything is going to take place while we're sailing. You know what I mean? So that's the important thing. And just to also, you know, because it's not just the cruise. We're going to be in two different hotels and a ship. We're moving around. We're going to be in 6 different flights. You know what I'm saying?
What gear do we need to bring for this besides just a nice linen outfit? What else?
But see, that's the type of shit that's the shit we need to be talking about. So that time of year is the best time of year to go in terms of weather. Okay. It's their winter time, but it's mild. It's about 80 degrees. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, you know, right now still
ain't oppressive hot. It ain't
ain't none of that shit. So I tell folks,
Israelite slave hot. It ain't that.
Nah, none of that. So
pulling bricks hot.
I tell folks all the time, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have like a light jacket or a sweater with you, because in the morning time or at night it's gonna get a little cool. You understand what I'm saying? So you definitely want to have, like, you know, I want to say this time of year for us, it's a little cold right now, but like late spring, early summer, New York weather is what it is.
That type of that
type of weather.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So in terms of like dress stuff, you definitely want to hit how to fly linen shit. And for the gala, that's like a black tie kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But you can definitely finesse it anywhere you want. So you definitely want to have those 2 nice outfits.
Some people don't do the formal, like tuxedo. They might want to African it up with the kente print, you know, mock neck, like ultra shit though. Like, you know what I mean? Like real fancy shit.
That's what you definitely want to have that. But those different flavors is definitely what's up. And the weather
Yeah, I
piece,
do own a tuxedo though. I'm just saying. I do own.
and the weather piece is like I said, is real nice, very comfortable. When you go to Egypt in the summertime, the heat can be a distraction because you'll literally be there at like 115 degrees, and you'll be like trying to hear a lecture outside. And you're like, I ain't listening to this. It's too hot.
Get the fuck
You know
out.
what I mean? Exactly. So it's real mild. It's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And it's really about us really enjoying ourselves, having a good time, building family, making connections, networking with each other, and building that camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? While we're learning about ourselves. And that's what this is. That's what this is.
Now, one of the only things besides, I guess, like trinkets and shit like that, souvenir, I heard you got to pay for your drinks.
Yes.
That's the only thing you got to pay for. But fortunately, drinks average on about what, 50 cents or something like that.
Yeah, man. So I like, so good question. So one of the things that's not included is beverages. Beverages is almost impossible to account for. But the beverage price in the hotels and the ship, they are a fraction of what we pay here. So first thing we got to talk about is the current exchange rate. So the current exchange rate is like for every $1 is like 31 Egyptian pounds. So when you say you in dinner and you're like, let me get a bottle of water, they're going to give you the bottle of water and they're going to come back with a bill. And the bill's probably going to say 15 pounds. If you're looking at the exchange rate, 15 pounds equal about 50 cents. So that's what you'll be paying. So these are things we keep in mind. So even though beverages aren't included, they're going to be at a real fraction of the cost what we pay here. It could be a can of soda, a bottle of water, some beer, wine, things like that, because those things are available there. But it'd be at a fraction of the cost of what we pay here for those things.
Oh, so they do have alcohol and shit like
that.
Yeah,
they do. They do.
They got now black people want to know this. Do they have Hennessy?
I don't know about that's a good question. that's a real good question. And I don't drink, so I don't really look at the bars like that. But I know alcohol's there, but I don't know what brands. I can't really
find out.
I can find out. No, I can.
Yeah, let's find out because I've been overseas where they didn't have any kind of yak, and I had to resort to Jack Daniels. I'll do it, but and I'm not a drinker like that, but I drink socially. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, but when I drink, I like that yak.
Like that yak.
That yakety yak. It don't talk back. It does not talk back. Yeah. So okay, just wondering, just trying to dot my I's, cross my T's. Footwear, right? Say you're going on a lot of these treks and stuff. You want to go see the pyramids. I like you walking through like mad sand and stuff like that. Like, can you wear your fresh kicks or nah? You want to wear something that you don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't wear fresh kicks.
Right.
When I'm on the sites.
Right.
You definitely want to have something. You're not really going to be in the desert too much. Even in the spots even when we are in the desert, it's paved. Like
that's what I was thinking. It would be something like that, right?
So we will be on the outskirts of the Sahara Desert. We will be there, but we won't be like deep in the desert. So you're not really in the sand like that. But even so, when you're going to these sites, I just wear, what I'm saying, some Timbs, something like that.
Some Timbs. So maybe like a nice little hiking shoe, something like that is good.
Even kicks like sneakers, because some people like to go inside the pyramids, and when you go inside, up and down those.
Go inside.
Of course, when you go up inside, when you go in and out of those shafts, you definitely want to have something that has some traction. People like trying to rock sandals. Like
I already know, yo, fuck the sandals.
No sandals, no flip flops.
No,
unless you're not trying to go inside, unless you just want to walk around.
Croc wearing motherfuckers. Keep your damn Crocs out of the goddamn pyramids.
Like you can wear those things, but the thing is, it's not going to really help you for kind of moving around the way you want to move around. Most of the other sites,
you can't hang with me though.
Most of the other sites is like, it ain't really
with Crocs. Nah, I'm just playing. If you got Crocs on, I'll leave you alone. But I'll be giving you the side eye lightly. Hey, Teacher Maria, peace. Damn, you at the end, but hey, you're here. How you doing? We missed you. Yeah. Well, let me find out. You got Crocs. You got Crocs? Do you have? Tell the truth. Do you have Crocs?
You're talking to me, are you?
I'm asking you.
Hell no.
Oh.
I thought you were talking to somebody else.
So you ain't talking to me, are you? Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Nah, I ain't got no Crocs.
Good.
Listen, and I ain't knocking nobody who does, but I ain't rocking. It is what it is. I ain't got them. But yeah, so yeah, footwear is a good thing, footwear, clothing. These are the questions people ask a lot. How's the weather? What type of footwear I should have.
Jamar Milton in the house. He said all of Egypt is dusty. All of it. He said, don't wear your best.
See, check this out. So
thank you, Jamar.
Let me add on to that.
Young Jamar. He said it's gonna be very dusty.
First thing, let's give my brother Jamar Milton a shout out, man. Dope person, dope musician. You know what I'm saying? Going to be with us on the trip. Going to be performing on the Now. You know what I'm saying?
Been out there before.
Yes. So when you get away from Cairo and you get out of the desert area, the landscape changes somewhat. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the great temples, it's not like that. When you're on the West Bank, you might have a little dust kind of going around the Valley of the Kings, things like that. But for the most part, you're on the East Bank, inside, the Karnak and Luxor Temple, like it's straight. I would wear even like nice kicks there because it's not really, you're just walking. Okay. We're not climbing, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. We're just kind of just walking. So depending on where I'm going, I'm gonna be kind of dressed for the occasion because I know what type of terrain it's going to be. But where we're in the pyramids, yes, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of want some Indiana Jones type shit.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, you gotta let me know. You know what I mean? Day to day, like yo, today is a. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
Yeah, you can bust out the fresh joints today.
Definitely.
Today.
Definitely, this is the day we
be like, and then
chilling.
Just all you gotta say is to Indiana Jones, and then I'll just know what you're talking about. Okay, okay, got you, Indiana Jones. We're doing that today.
Some days it's just laid back and you chilling. You're looking good. Some other days it's like, yeah, we definitely. I got my, my.
Well, I'm looking good actually. In whatever I do, I'm not gonna lie about that. But, yeah. But I understand what you're saying.
So yeah. People, family, check it out. 646-907-8344. ICareTours.com. Definitely you can go there. You can sign up, for the trip. You register, pay your deposit. Right now, deposit is $300. But being
I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to ask because people need to know about that shit. When you tell people the price, they don't have to shell this out tomorrow. You offer payment plans, yes?
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
And the payment plans is on a more of an individual basis. However, let me say this to you. We are at the point.
Right. Very close.
We're very close. So the deposit is $300, but it's strongly recommended that you're doing at least half 25%, something beyond the $300. But if you're like, yo, I got the $300 today, next week, whatever, we're going to do the balance, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be paid in full 30 days prior to departure. So that puts us almost about a month away from now. You know what I'm saying? So that puts us like mid kind of January for people that want to go. They ain't got to do the whole thing right now, but mid-January is everything has to be paid.
Missed you too, Teacher Maria. Thank you for your donation. Come to Egypt with us, Teacher Maria.
You know what I'm saying? She's from the UK. See the 10 pounds, the 10 pounds. So I see you definitely got the international crowd going. Somebody else has some money from the UK, so that's what's up,
bro. I told you that's why I wanted to come on at this time because they could join in. Like what I mean?
That's what's up.
Come on around 4:00. They're 5 hours ahead. They're still able to participate. If we would have come on at 8:00, they were dead sleep and they didn't miss the whole shit. You know what I mean? But then the West Coast it's still a nice time for them right now. Yeah,
so nice time for them too. Yeah, and definitely a nice round hour.
Yeah, I like this time.
The culture hour, yeah. Hour talk about culture. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yes, sir. Um, so should we do that too? Shut up. He said Egyptians also did human sacrifice. Should we do that too? You gotta love people. Hey, anyway, man, we're gonna wrap this up. Man, it's been a nice conversation. We're gonna
No doubt,
continue
I enjoyed
these at a later date. Now is that boat on the flyer? Is that the actual ship? What it looks like, or that's
it.
just a representation?
I think that I think that might be one we used last year.
Okay,
We used the year before.
the
But since
Pharaoh.
yeah, the Farah. That's the one we used as it. But we're going to give you this actually a promo video we have where the actual ship is on that video.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? We're going and I got a new one that's coming out featuring you. I'm gonna give you that. You can share it with your people. It's gonna be a minute long, and that one will actually have the actual ship on it.
okay, that's what's up. Once again, happy 2024 tour to Egypt. Discover the origins of economics in Egypt with HAPI, February 17th to the 24th, or
February
how many?
16th to 25th.
Or the 16th to the 25th. Special DJ will be yours truly, and we will have musical performances by Jamar Milton and Ruby Hayes. Happy Cardinal Cruise program, linen party, presentations, economic workshops, luxury chartered cruise, live musical performances, exercise and meditation at sunrise on the deck. Ooh, that sounds very nice. I will be there for all of that. Book your seat at arquettetours.com. All right, Taaqiy, thank you, brother.
Peace.
And
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I will see you out there, bro.
All right, brother. All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Taaqiy Grant. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Felicia, for helping out in the background. Appreciate you. That's right. Meditation at sunrise. That's going to be dope. Meditation at sunrise in Egypt? On the Nile? Come on. There's got to be some sort of vibrational accentuation that must be going on. And you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's still going to be on one of the ley lines. So even though there's ley lines all over the earth, we know that there's a ley line there. You know what I mean? There's one of those special ley lines in Egypt and all of that. So if we meditating at sunrise on a ley line, yeah, that sounds like something. That sounds like something. All right, y'all. Listen, I'll probably be back maybe tomorrow, because I know we got shit to talk about. There's a whole bunch of, oh man, there's a lot of shit we need to talk about. Of course, your boy Diddy is continuously in the news. Damn, I had some other shit I wanted to. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, they trying to pursue Takeoff for sexual assault lawsuit, despite the fact that he's dead and his mom's could be liable. Oh, there's a lot of things to talk about in the world. But we're not gonna talk about it today because shit, we already been on here for like 2 hours, and yeah. But anyway, you said, what if Diddy wants to go on the trip? Take that. Chinese food. Oh, I don't know why you disagree with me on it. Chinese food, that's not good. Because trust me, I'm super right. And it matters. Trust me, it matters. But we'll get into it another time. Y'all don't want to fuck with me on this flat earth shit. So it is what it is. So listen, yeah, I think I'm gonna come back tomorrow. So let's get ready. Y'all have a great evening. And until then, I told y'all, did I tell y'all I went to Rod Digger's wedding? Yeah, I went to Rod Digger's wedding. It was dope. It was dope. Zambian, I love you, my brother. You was going too hard. I couldn't put your shit up today. But you're a funny guy. Yeah. That's right, Rod. Rod Digger is now Mrs. Weeks. Shout out to Mrs. Weeks. Mr. and Mrs. Weeks. We will maybe I'll show you some pictures from the wedding tomorrow. Until then, peace to the gods, peace to the earths, peace to all my people, peace to all my family who always keeps joining in, tuning in. I love y'all, man. Can't do it without y'all. Peace.